not gonna wig out on us because during my Octopath Traveler stream, it disconnected for some dumb fucking reason.
That's kind of dumb.
It was dropping frames. Like my internet was completely fine, but I was dropping frames for some reason. I didn't know what the fuck happened. I think I'm just gonna get a wired connection now because the thing's right there. I'll just get an Ethernet cable. Fuck it.
Alright, throw us up! On my side, anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna throw us up. So tonight's topic is the Crystal Datacenter raid scene and player skill.
Ooh.
Me and Zimbo have been talking about it on and off. It's on Kai's mind all the time. And Philo... Poor Philo.
Everyone just... everyone compared to me is just bad automatically, so it's just...
Oh, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Go take your philosophy major and go climb a tree. Then I'll cut it down.
Can't cut it down if it doesn't exist in my mind.
Oh.
Oof. Oof.
An imaginary... That's... The oof is the sound of the tree he just imagined into existence.
It just goes oof and disappears.
It's a puff of smoke. If no one's around and a tree falls in the woods, does it go oof?
Hold on.
I mean, probably not.
I don't want to preface this message with "Hey y'all." It sounds dumb.
Oh, you're not gonna block the chat tonight?
No. No more chat blocking unless someone busts something really bad in there.
Oh no.
Okay,
Start doxing someone.
Be right back. I gotta go throw shit in the oven because.
Okay.
Lol.
Where's Ophi at?
I don't know. I called him.
He was in, or not.
Let me just pull this up.
Kai's over here just being a thought as usual.
Wow.
Yeah, what else? Gotta show off for the stream.
Oh my god. This is not. We are not gamer girls, okay?
I'm back.
I am. I'm a girl. My voice died.
I heard it.
So, wait, are we live right now?
Yes.
Yes.
I went
yes.
live.
Oh, okay. Hi, everyone. I just came back.
You can't talk shit anymore.
Oh, well, can I talk shit about myself then?
I mean, we all do that for you.
Oh, thanks. I'm glad I'm glad I'm covered in that department.
So, this is our second episode. Tonight we got Zinvo.
Hi.
We got Kai.
Woo!
And Philo.
What up?
God damn it, no.
And Philo.
And Philo. Everyone just is so disappointed. No.
So disappointed.
So, our topic tonight is the Crystal Raid scene and the new overall player skill level of the data
Scream
center.
into the void.
So I have some raid experience. Zimbo doesn't have any. Philo has a bunch, and Kai has a lot. Kai has more experience than anyone.
I don't have any experience, but I've only heard stories, and it all sounds like nightmares.
It's horrible.
I've been keeping up with the threads on Reddit and other places, and it does not sound great.
I've experienced it firsthand. It's not pretty.
Okay, how about we start with that then? Kai, tell us a personal recent experience.
Okay. There was an 09S farm party. It was a duty complete farm party, you know, the usual. We get in, I keep asking, what strat are we using? Nobody answers. We get to the orb, where you have to go to your spots, nobody knows where to go. The other healer kept dying. The 3 DPS were doing 3k. Let's see. We enraged once. we wiped 4 times. And the last time, the time we cleared, it was on enrage. So it's not good for 09S with echo and gear.
Is that full echo or just the 10%?
15% echo.
15% echo.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
So I've sort of been noticing with Orban runs, and I've read a few threads about it, that it's not great right now.
No, nothing's great right now.
Paldor says the owner of that group that Kai was in did not clear 100%. How does Paldor know that?
How does Powder know these secret knowings?
So, in Orban recently, it's not just a theme within like the FC, because it is within the FC too, but it's also like just in DF.
It's
I asked Kazi the other day what her normal time for clearing Orban was, and she said it usually takes around 2 hours. Because she does it. She does it in the DF, because she can't make it to event nights. So it takes
2 hours.
2 hours sometimes in Orban.
I mean,
insane.
it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I was also reading how people. Well, then again, we kind of saw that during our guild night. We saw Flare 4 go out, and we've never seen it before.
Oh yeah. On the was it the last boss?
Yeah, the last boss on Seraph Ultima, and I've never seen that before until that raid night.
I might have seen it once, but that was like when we first did it. And I've ran it multiple times now, so to have that happen recently is slightly off-putting, in my opinion.
There's a friend of mine that on Twitter was saying they were gonna switch to Ether because they have been in 2 Orbone parties and they both abandoned. So.
Wow.
They vote abandon on Orban?
Yep.
Yeah, just trying to, it just baffles me that. I mean, it's not like this content's new. It's been out for quite a while already. So you think
hold on. Ish003 just followed. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
No, thank you.
What were you saying, Simba?
If it was new content, that'd be one thing, because obviously no one knows a lot of the mechanics and stuff. And granted, there are some new people that do come to the party late and don't know how to run it, and that's fine. For a newer person, like for myself, when I run new stuff, I like to go in it blind because it's a fun experience that way. I just listen to callouts, I pay attention to body language of the boss, so on and so forth, and I get the gist of it. But when you have people that have cleared it multiple times and yet still have a problem with it, that's a worrying sign for future content. For the fact of, if it's harder than this, I don't know if a lot of people are going to be sticking around to play, because if the skill cap is too high, they're not going to even want to try.
Let me just
and even then,
let me just catch up with the chat real quick. Powder says, I cleared OL11S in a leveler checker prog, so my experience hasn't been too bad so far. Pro says, I've had a horrible time trying to do Stereo EX with PF. Let's go ahead, Kai.
Yeah, that too. When people finish Orbone, you can usually see who's new because they get the achievement, and sometimes in the worst fucking parties, you get like one person with the achievement, so everyone's cleared it.
Yeah,
which means everyone was getting carried before this, and now there's no one to carry them.
So I think that because of how they've decided to split up the servers, and I mean, they said when they initially split up the servers, they said we've split people up according to the kind of language they use on servers. They kind of talk the same, They said that during, I think it was FanFest. in North America. But I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened here. They put all the raiders on Aether, they left all the casuals on Primal, and they threw all the role players into Crystal.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible... I mean, they never explicitly said it, because they've said before, I don't want to put, a label on any one server, because then you get the issue of you get on an RP server and you don't RP, and then the community there's like, well, what are you doing on our server? Get off our server, which is understandable. But I would prefer that they just come out and say that, yes, that's why. That's like they're all being segregated like this now. Because this is dumb. Everyone knows what's going on. All the raiders are on Aether now. Guess what? The other servers suck for clearing now. Primal clear rates were already low. We all knew that. I'm scared.
Yeah, Primal was already like skating by.
Primal's clear rates were low. Don't even get me started on EU. But it's troubling that they think it's okay to do this, and then I know what's gonna happen. I know exactly what's gonna happen because it's happened every single time before this. Aether's gonna get locked. It's gonna get locked. It's because all the raiders are there and people want to clear content. And you know what's going to happen? Everyone's going to be left with Primal and Crystal. And people are going to be stuck here and they're going to be left unhappy. But the bright side to this is it's a double-edged sword. Because over time, because something gets locked, the people inside the locked servers hate each other eventually. And because they can't get new players. And then the other servers do well. I don't know. It's partially our fault too. Because we get all these misconceptions in our head saying like, Aether's definitely the raid server. I gotta go to Aether. I'm never gonna clear content. And it doesn't help that we make 10 million memes about Crystal that how just shit all over it because it's a roleplay server. But But
it's true. Yeah.
It's true though. I don't know. I feel like there's a better way to solve this than the way we've taken. But I don't know what Yoshi P is doing. I don't know if he needs time to work out the kinks in the server. Because this feels like a Band-Aid. This does not feel like a real solution. Because what happens if Shadowbringers is really good? What happens then? What happens when all the servers become overpopulated and congested? What are we going to do? Add another data center? It seems like...
It's going to shove them over into Primal and Crystal here.
Well, yeah, even if they do that, though, I'm talking what if Shadowbringers is that good, and by some miracle, which is possible at this point if Shadowbringers is really good, we create our own raid scene and somehow become like just self-sufficient like Aether.
The only way we're going to do that is if we take the initiative and start getting people who are interested in being better players and teach them how to be better players.
I know.
But then again, we could get also a really toxic community started going if people start focusing on rating, because the skill level is just, you're either good or you're awful. There's no in between. There's no he might be kind of good. No, you're just awful or you're good.
I'm on the awful side.
Zimbo, you play on skill levels of above most people.
No.
You're casual, but you play like a raider.
Fuck yeah, I'm a filthy casual.
But I don't know. I feel like, what was I going to say? If they start labeling as Aether being a RP server or whatever, I feel like a lot of people on this server are actually going to utilize that. What's it called? The new trust system or whatever, where you run dungeons with
those are the NPCs.
Yep. Basically like squadrons. I feel like a lot of people are going to utilize that just because everyone's for me, I know that I ran a leveling roulette a couple times. Tank didn't know what they were doing. Healer died multiple times. DPS, things die so slowly, and it's painful. And I'm playing Monk, and I'm burning down targets faster because I purposefully target one monster to see on how fast I could DPS it down solo. And I watch the other DPS, tank, and healer going at the other one, and on par with them, which should not happen. But with this new NPC system now, I feel like a lot of people are going to rely on that.
All right, let me just catch up with the chat real quick. I haven't done any Seiryu or any other EXSP trials lately since I've been on AIS a lot. Paldor also says, I feel like whoever was into the raid scene on our center had been on break even before the change happened.
Well, what I've noticed is people from Crystal are like the ones who already cleared are not farming, but in Ether, they're all farming. Cause I know people that have cleared stuff already on Ether. Cause the PF is still alive there, and here right now I can check, and there's like our high-end duty finder has 4 parties.
Oof.
That's it.
But you gotta also
Sorry,
not take into consideration we're at the end of an expansion, so a lot of the people who've already cleared.
Alright, let me catch up with the chat before you finish that thought. WD Gold says, oh my god, I finally hit level 50 on Warrior XP. Hey, nothing's wrong with RP, IRP every day. Pearl says, I watch a lot of Twitch streamers and I feel like we may have had a chance to like build back up to getting good people back, but the Twitch streamers constantly bash on Crystal Datacenter and tell everyone their streams not to come here. Paldor says, this is why I'm trying to get FC mates to learn Savage tiered material, and Pearl also says, but I don't enjoy Savage content. I have never had any desire to do so. I'm not going to do something that I don't enjoy. Alright, Philo, you can keep going. I just wanted to catch up.
So like we're at the end of an expansion pack. The raid tier has already basically come and gone. Like the only reason to do it is because you either want to learn how to do Savage, you're really bored and doing it for funsies. Like other than that, there's really no reason to actually do Savage content, because all the current content you can be done with the Tombstone gear or the 390 crafted gear.
Yeah.
So we're probably not going to see like I don't think we can. We're going to see for right now how the actual scene is going to be until Shadowbringer drops, and then once that first raid tier comes out.
Also, to whoever said they RP, like, there's nothing wrong with that, because
I was just gonna say,
nothing's wrong with RP, dude. It's just when people
some of my friends.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, keep going.
Okay, I'll go first. When it's not that RP is inherently bad, it's just RP has a negative stereotype associated with it. So when people think RP, they think, oh no, someone's ERPing in the quicksands with a Lalafell and the FBI gets called and they get arrested and go to jail. But no, there's nothing wrong with RP. It's a matter of when and where and how you're doing it. Like if you're RPing mid-raid, I will kick you in the face.
Yeah, I agree.
I cannot handle people who RP during content because it's so awful. I'm trying to clear. I don't care. I don't want you to write a fucking paragraph about like this.
Oh no.
Like that. Don't write a paragraph. Don't write paragraphs during content, please.
Like a lot of my friends are like from Balmung and stuff. They're like our peers, and they're like some of the best raiders I know, and they've helped me clear a lot. So
yeah,
it's not even like a question of like RPing. It's more your skill level, and some people just rather stay at the quicksands
and
do weird cat girl things.
And I kind of want to interject, like the whole RPing scene. If it's strong here in this, server, data center, whatever, I'm totally okay with that. All I would like from people who do RP is that if they're doing a dungeon, fate, just doing anything related to combat, please give your full attention to just that at the time. Because I keep coming, or in the past, even before this whole data transfer stuff, I came in contact with people who, well, there was a tank that was tanking, and he was just standing there. People were drawing aggro off of him. And while that was all happening, he was just typing random things in party chat. It's like, that's fine. I appreciate you wanting to communicate with us, but in the middle of a fight, you should not be doing that. You should be focusing on your job at hand. In between mobs and stuff, that's fine, cool, whatever. But in the middle of everything that's happening, just please pay attention to what's the combat and all that stuff. That's all I ask for, personally.
So, hold on, let me catch up with chat real quick. WD Gold said, yeah, trust me, I know. Pearl says, that's why I've stayed here. I'm hoping that we'll get some of our raiders back with the expansion. And WD Gold also says he RPs in private. Like, I don't need anyone seeing my RP. It's a personal thing. Pearl says, I'm with Zinvo. So, I had a prediction this morning with Zinvo, kind of. With the data center split, I'm seeing a lot of people in the FC leave and go to Aether. Like, just normal people we play with sometimes. But I'm also seeing a lot of them say, can I stay in the Discord? I feel like Aether is a temporary solution to a long-term problem. Because what's going to happen is Shadowbringers is going to come out. Aether's either going to be permanently congested or locked constantly, and no one's going to be able to log into play. Do you guys remember at the beginning of Stormblood when we got so many people from Balmung and Gilgamesh because they literally could not log in. They were
on Extreme Electric Boogaloo.
They couldn't log in because the servers were too congested. So yeah, they're having a stress test and stuff now, but I feel like there's no way they're going to be prepared for Shadowbringers. It's going to happen again, and we're going to see a bunch of people leave Aether and go to Primal and Crystal. Probably Primal first, TBH.
Well, and the thing is too is that like a lot of, well, once the game comes out, I have a feeling a lot of people, like you were saying before, a lot of people are going to come back from maybe other servers, or we're just going to start getting an influx of new players. But they're going to be potentially somewhat seasoned, maybe not. Who knows?
The chances are they're not have ever played a MMORPG, because we got those trailers at Avengers Endgame, right? So that's going to attract whole new people to the genre.
Oh yeah.
FFXIV has been going really hard on marketing outside of the usual realm of things, like Mardi Gras floats. The trailer before Avengers Endgame in certain theaters, WWE again this year to a certain point, not like it used to be. They didn't do the costumes again, but there was a poster up there. I saw it. There's a poster on the wall.
There was a Pride float in Australia.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It was in Australia's Cape Pride Parade. There was an FFXIV float. So we've been getting marketed pretty far outside of just the internet. And this game is good for a lot of like baby's first MMOs, but then we run into the other problem of how this community handles itself when it comes to clearing content. Well, I'm not talking about raider toxicity or anything here, but this community promotes mediocrity. It's like, there's a reason you see so many tanks running around and experts that don't know how to keep aggro. It's because everyone says, yeah, that's fine, they're just playing the game, they're casuals. No, dude, that's not okay. We can't play the game like that. Do you know how many times I've been stealing aggro as a scholar in experts roulette this week? It's insane.
Just stop DPSing.
Hey, Ophi. No, I'm not going to DPS because I want to be a good scholar. And do you know how boring it is to play scholar without DPSing? I would rather smash this keyboard in half with my face live on stream than not DPS as a scholar.
Hey, I got a pretty hardy keyboard. I can send it your way and you can try to break it with your head.
I would pay good money to see
No, getting kind of back to one of the problems with with the community or the new players and stuff. Another big problem I feel like is the jump potions, because people who join the game are going to be like, oh man, I have to start at level 1. But people who have money, they're going to be like, oh, fuck it, I'll just jump to not max level, granted, but they're still jumping ahead and they're not understanding, the certain mechanics or the kits that each class has, and they're not fully understanding all of the combat. So now if we get a lot of new players and they do that,
I thought the jump potions you could only buy if you were like already a certain level or something in game.
Nope.
No,
you can buy them right off the bat.
I don't know that. Oh, that's that is kind of a little bit worrying.
Okay, let me just catch up with chat real quick before we go any further. Palador says I've been stealing aggro leveling my red mage every dungeon. Pearl says I've always done that, Palador. Papa Yaga says ow my head. Palador also says I've never lost aggro to a red mage whenever I tank though. Only black mage or samurai have been able to steal aggro from me. And Pearl says some tanks can't handle red mages. Red mages do generate an insane amount of aggro. There's a reason they have 2 aggro dump skills. They have diversion and lucid.
Well, diversion was made for red mage. It's like their quelling strikes.
It's got the same animation as it too.
Does it really? I didn't notice
yeah,
that.
It does.
Yeah.
It's got the same animation Quelling Strikes had.
Of course it does.
So, what were you saying before?
Who?
Oh, I thought you guys were still talking about something. My bad. The jump potions, I don't know. I hope they don't make it so you can jump to level 70 in Shadowbringers, because I would like people to have to play through Stormblood at least, because it feels like whenever we get someone that knows how to uses a jump potion, they don't know their class. Okay, like there's no way you can pick up a class at level 60 or 50 and say you know it well. I refuse to believe that.
I'll admit, I did buy 2 jump potions. They were for Warrior and for Dragoon. Warrior wasn't too hard to pick up on. Dragoon, I had fun with it, but I don't play the class because I feel like I don't fully understand it and can't play it to its full potential.
I bought Warrior and Monk, and then I used to parse 7k on Monk, so you can learn if you want to. Just don't expect to buy a class and be like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna press buttons. Like, you have to learn your class and what to fucking do.
But you also played from 1 to 60 though.
Yeah, I played almost every other melee I did level, so
I feel like
I already knew how melee worked.
Whenever I only boosted one class, but whenever I start leveling a class from the bottom up, I know the class by the time I hit 50 or level 60 or 70, because I had to level it, and I got the skills progressively. I didn't just have them all. And I feel like you perform better at your job if you don't boost. If you just take the time to learn it and just level it, that in itself is worth more than $20. I'll tell you that right now. You save $20 and you get a time sink, but at least you know how to play your class. Let me just catch up with chat real quick and we'll keep going. Hold on. Pi says most people don't even bother to diversion. North Rear says people doing 70 raids without knowing what a stack marker is because they've not done final steps of faith. Pearl says I had a tank tell me they loved me just because I was using diversion. That was me, Pearl. Oh, that was Elswith. WD Gold says, can we address the fact when I said I'm an absolute unit in FC chat, everyone logged off? No! Pi also says I've had to tank for someone who jumped their scholar, who boosted their scholar and then decided to queue for a level 52 dungeon. Papa Yaga also says WD Gold, that happens all the time. People constantly logging in and out of the FC, so it gives the illusion that you are the direct reason for it. Pearl also says, I'm too cheap to buy a jump potion. I've leveled everything on my own. My new Aether alt is almost 50. Powder says, only boosted war on my alt since that's my main class. Let me just see what we're... Okay, we're running good on time. So, in Shadowbringers, I feel like not a lot of... On day one, like the first few weekends, I feel like not a lot of Crystal's gonna make it to endgame. Because what's gonna happen is Shadowbringers is gonna come out, and because expansion content on release is hard, it's like legitimately a challenge because you don't know what anything does. We're gonna like get to endgame, whatever the Idleshire or the Ralgers reaches, and it's just gonna be a ghost town. I'll guarantee you that, at least for the early access weekend and 2 weeks after it.
It's like when both of us got through Realbound AX and everyone else was stuck, and it was just me and Super and Ralgers.
Yeah, it was.
Nobody was there.
No one else made it through Realbound EX, and we were just standing in Ralgers Reach like, wow, we're done with the game. Where is everybody?
this time around, I am taking off from work to do the early thingamajig, so I don't have to deal with that thing again.
I wonder how soon the first Raubon EX is gonna.
I think they've learned their lesson and they've decided not to play.
No, they haven't.
They never do.
There's no fucking way they learned their lesson.
Didn't even
never learned their lesson.
Absolutely going to be a single player instance within the first 2 hours of the MSQ. I'm calling it right now. 2 hours. There will be at least one solo instance.
I mean, they already screwed up the FF15 event that locked your character out and you couldn't log back in. So,
yeah.
What was that? The solo instance? Oh yeah.
If you clear
when you had to fight Garuda,
if you clear Garuda,
finished it, and it would DC you and you can log back in.
You left to go to play FF15.
Oof.
It just deleted your character.
Feels pretty bad, man.
But I think they've learned the lesson about solo instances because they didn't put one before AlphaScape. There wasn't a solo instance there. Because remember when
Who the fuck cares about AlphaScape?
Oh. Well, that was the Deltascape EX.
Because Deltascape EX happened. And we couldn't get into Deltascape because the solo instance was clogged.
And Sigma 2. That was terrible. We had to wait like an hour for everyone to do that so we could do the raids.
At least they're trying to do something with the congestion by having those tests going on.
The stress tests are good, but I don't know how much they're gonna help. Because they just tell you to go to a certain server in a certain place and try to overload the servers.
Like honestly, Yoshi P, just buy that extra server for another $1,000, please.
There just needs to be a queue system. Just make it a queue. If you're gonna have a solo instance, just put a fucking queue that says you are X in Y, and then it just drops as soon as people filter through stuff, sitting there having to sit there and like mash it. That's what I did like for the first fucking like 4 days.
Mash Rav on the X.
I am still triggered about that.
I mean, that's the reason why I think Stormblood had such a rocky launch is because most people bailed because Rav EX blocked their progression.
Basically, yeah.
So, let me just catch up with chat real quick. Let's see where we at. WD Gold says, where are you guys? We're in the basement. Pearl says, I'm not logged in. I'm in my living room. Papa Yaga says, I'm still struggling through Heavensward, but I only started 10 days ago. Pi says they have not learned their lesson. Powder says he's going to do another 24-hour stream when Shadowbringers drops. And Pi says not with the bullshit from the 15 crossover. Noria says Meteor Chocobos tells me they haven't learned. Meteor Chocobos were great.
That was amazing.
Do not diss the Meteor Chocobos. If you died to Meteor Chocobos, you deserved it.
I fully died twice to those Meteor Chocobos.
I died a lot.
How?
Because there was everywhere because there were like 20 people doing
There's
it.
20
So they
people
were
doing it at
was
once.
I don't know.
There's
So what? I ran in, talked to NPC, fucking dodged everything, got the fuck out, easy peasy.
Pearl says Kai is a sexy bitch.
I am.
Yep, that's the end of the chat messages.
So I know I got here late, but have we discussed the whole upcoming Battle 3.0 changes?
No, we haven't because tonight's topic was just the Crystal raid scene and player skill level discussion.
Oh, how it's like dumpster fire tier?
Kind of, yes. We kind of
My ass. It's 100% a dumpster fire. I haven't even played, and I know it's a dumpster fire.
It is 100% a dumpster fire.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
Like, I wiped twice on Titan the other day because the healers, everyone was dead, the healers had full MP, and nobody would raise.
But Pearl was right about one thing. As streamers, we can't tell people, stay away from Crystal, don't come here, it sucks. We need people to come here that want to be good at the game if we ever want this to change. Like, there's some people already on Crystal that are never going to get better, they don't want to get better, they're going to be happy doing 2k DPS on Samurai and spamming Gecko in the back.
Oh my god. Please.
Can we, politely harass them so they, either quit or get good?
You mean public shaming?
Can't do that in this game, man. Well, not in this game, but you can do it. You can do it outside of the game. Like, you could probably make a blog post and just call. You could make a blog page.
Make a blog post with their name as the title, and then colon. This is why you suck, and then link it to them.
Don't link it to them. If anything you link in game is considered.
No, link it through Discord. Find their Discord name. Everyone has a Discord name.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Just be like, excuse me, good sir and or madam, Tips Fedora. I couldn't help but notice that you suck at your class.
Oh, and
here's a helpful guide.
Here's a helpful guide. Dude, what if that's the new way to harass players in game? You just start posting links to actual rotations.
That's what I'm gonna start doing. As soon as Shadowbringers drops, I am 100% gonna start doing that. Be like, I'm gonna have fucking macros for every single class. If you suck at this job, you're gonna be getting a link to.
Dude, you're gonna have to link it, and you have to wait for I think 4 or 5 days until after SH drops because the rotations are all gonna change.
Yeah, they are. We're all gonna be bad at it.
Except Scholar. Scholar rotation hasn't changed since 2.0, so.
I'm horrified to how Summoner rotation is going to be.
They're gonna make
changing everything.
The battle changes haven't been released yet. The live letter for that is on the 24th of this month, I believe.
Oh god.
And we're gonna see because TP is getting deleted, and it's just gonna be HP and MP from now on.
Yeah, doing another skill trim to get rid of more skills. Because I don't know, because fucking why not?
Well, I don't know I don't know what skills they could remove from Scholar. Unless
all of the DPS skills. God.
I'm quitting my class.
Would probably quit. Yeah.
You're gonna heal and you're gonna
Dude, they could just remove sustain and rouse. Just make rouse permanent. Do it.
They're gonna remove a.
Dude, remove Celine. The fairy is useless.
They're gonna remove Aos and they're gonna make your they're gonna make your Adlos and shit give DPS.
Celine should have more bots, honestly, because the silence thing is basically worthless. So they should fix that.
Let's see. Let me catch up with chat real quick. Pro says dumpster fire is putting it mildly. North Rayer says you don't even need to be good, just decent. Honestly, it just baffles me because when I was new, stuff like Final Steps of Faith forced me to get at least decent. Pi says just send him a tiny URL link. Norir says, remember Shinryu normal at release and it was great. And Lufkin says, is this SC's answers to unskilled players the trust system? And then I'm skipping the one with Cecil because it's irrelevant. WD Gold says, bring back leeches. That's just a Suna. Pi says, my rouse toggle and reduce damage while it's up. Make reduce damage while it's up. Make rouse toggleable and reduce damage while it's up. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, then Summoner can't use it.
Yeah.
Because that'd be garbage for Summoner.
Just leave it on all the time.
Oh god, no.
You just have aggro.
I can't wait for them to fuck up Dark a third goddamn time.
I'm waiting to see how Dark Knight's gonna be fucked up this time. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
I want Dark Arts to get deleted. Dark Arts should never exist.
Yes, please. You can trim that skill all you fucking.
They're gonna make it so Dark Arts is a passive on Grit.
I would be excited. I will be super stoked to tank again if they get rid of tank stances completely. That'd be some good shit, right?
But then, what about your DPS stance?
That's just what you have all the time. You're just constantly in DPS stance.
I don't know. I kind of like the stances.
Well, you don't play a tank. You play a Scar.
I kinda like them, but now there's a point where nobody uses them.
That's
Like,
why I'm in favor of getting rid of them. Just if no one's using.
Like, you just use them if you don't know how to tank, basically.
Well, yeah. I mean, tank stances are good for like very situational things.
Savage
I
content.
got an idea, and this is what they do in BDO. There's no such thing as a Trinity. Everyone's a DPS. End of story. Everyone's happy.
I remember that.
I don't think that's a good idea for this game.
Yeah.
What I liked about BDO is you fucking murder like 100 things at once.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. It gets old after a while, though.
Yeah, I haven't really touched that game in like a couple weeks. I logged in like last night. I was like, alright, this is already boring. I logged out. I came back to Final Fantasy.
Oh well. We only have, what, 2 months? Less than 2 months until Shadowbringers.
Less than 2 months, like a month.
It's like a month and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
For
guys,
early access.
you
I
guys,
gotta get my Black Mage up to 70 before this ends or starts.
I'm staying Scholar, but I really hope they don't screw Scholar up. Let me catch up
They're
with.
gonna bend Scholar over a barrel, and they're gonna give it a big old deep.
Oof.
Let me just. Powler says I use tank stance for tank busters, though. Norir says stances are a good progression tool to learn Feist. DPS optimization for tanks is for farming. Papa Yaga says Guild Wars 2 was supposed to be like that, where there wasn't any Trinity, but they decided to fuck that over. Powler says people don't understand how to stance right, so they only stay in tank stance for new content or DPS stance for their parser. And WD Gold says he likes being the tank. So, when I played Dark Knight, I would always just stay in Dark Side and Grit. So I don't know why you would ever have to drop either of them, unless you were out of MP. Is there any, like, is Dark Knight the way they're just gonna go, where you can just have tank stance on all the time?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really like Dark Knight right now. It's not in a good place.
No, it's pretty.
Like,
Compared to the 60 cap, like for example, the what is that one? Let me hop on my Dark Knight here. It's one of those abilities that was really cool back in the day, but now it's like complete trash.
Carve and Spit?
No, not Carve and Spit. It's Abyssal Drain.
yeah.
Like back in 60 cap, when you did Abyssal Drain, it recovered significant amount for your HP pool, but now it's like diddly squat.
Honestly, I don't even have that on my hotbar. Like, I never use it.
Yeah, because it's garbage.
It is.
Why do Abyssal Drain when you can just do Unleash now? Like,
Yep, exactly.
even though Abyssal Drain's supposed to be better, because of the HP grab, it really helps with jack shit because it's so insignificant.
Mm-hmm.
For such
and
a huge
eats
cost.
up your MP.
Yeah.
Like Dark Knight, if you're good at Dark Knight right now, you're really good. But almost nobody is. So
Like, I don't see any Dark Knight mains anymore.
yeah.
Like I see
Everyone's
maybe
just,
like 2
Paladin.
or 3. I think Elswith plays Dark Knight, and then Ophi, and then I don't know of anybody else who plays Dark Knight as a main.
It's
And even
because
then,
it's
it's
not
most
fun
of the
anymore.
I don't know. It can be fun at times, but I don't know.
They need to differentiate it more. I think, like, give more enemies
I don't
magic.
understand the.
Give more enemies magic damage. Tank busters. Dark Knight will be like. Do you remember why Paladin was so
No.
fucking useless in Heaven's Ward? Because
Yeah,
all of
everything was magic.
everything was magic damage, and Alexander was completely almost magic damage, and everyone's like,
Mhm.
"Where's my Dark Knight? I need a Dark Knight." And Paladins couldn't even find raid parties because no one wanted Paladins. Everyone wanted Dark Knight and Warrior. And then this tier is the complete opposite because Dark Knight's bad now, and it's just Paladin Warrior again. Hopefully, with Gunbreaker, they finally just break the Trinity once and for all.
Gunbreaker's just gonna be like, I can do both.
No.
That's all it's gonna be. Gunbreaker's gonna roll in there and be like, look, I got a stance for magic, and then I got a stance for physical, and then you got your paladins for physical, you got your dark knights for magical, then you got your warrior for the side DPS. Bada bing, bada boom.
Warrior just becomes a TPS.
Basically, that's your 5th DPS. That's all it is.
I do have a sneaking suspicion that they might actually move one of the tanks to be an actual DPS class.
I don't think they'll do that, just because if they do that, players who liked the class as a tank are going to be really upset.
I don't know, man.
Warriors, Papa Yaga says, Warrior's just a big ass damage sponge. So, let me catch up with chat. Peller says you drop grit to turn on Blood Weapon, which grants you damage and restores MP, which Dark Arts needs. Papa Yaga says, doesn't Dark start at 50? Lufkin says 30. Pro says Mark's been playing Dark Knight, but has been playing a lot more DPS lately. Which I think everyone's gonna... Can we talk about how... Oh no, we're not gonna talk about that right now. It's off topic. But we kind of got off topic with Dark Knight. But so I don't know. I've been kind of snooping on Crystal Discord servers and stuff, and there are people who are interested, and there are endgamers still here, but they're just so small now. There's no one left, dude. Everyone got on the bus and went home.
Everyone's all busy ERPing on Balmung.
Yeah, and the ones that stayed like already have a static, so they just stayed because of that.
There's people that are like that. I don't want to say they can't leave. That there's people that are very adverse to leaving too because they have houses and stuff here.
I'm literally not allowed to leave.
Oh yeah, Philo can't leave a server.
I literally can't leave the server.
Why not? What happened here? I demand a story.
It's some kind. I don't know. Just like some literal technical difficulty. When I tried to do it last time, it literally wouldn't let
When
me.
Philo tried to transfer off to Gilgamesh in 3.0, the game literally wouldn't let him. Like he had a server transfer code and everything, and things were. He was ready to go, and then he couldn't leave. Like he kept trying it, and it wouldn't let him leave.
Philo's cursed here.
Philo's stuck on Corel.
I'm stuck on Koro.
Philo's been quarantined.
Yeah, basically.
Not with World Visit.
Oh my God. Yeah, now I can go to Balmung.
Because that's where you always wanted to go.
Oh god. I mean, I kind of did want to go over there. You know, like how people go to the zoo, kind of thing. You know, that stuff. Like that's why I go to Balmung every now and then.
But I don't see a lot of the old raiding FCs that used to hang around here are gone too. It's a great opportunity if you want to build something new, But right now it's, oh god.
It's like babies right now. Like, if you want to start something, you have to have like the biggest patience ever.
Yeah.
We're lucky our
'Cause-
BA group, we got the more patient people out of the Aether Discord.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we got the better people out of the Aether Discord.
I need to join the Crystal.
The Crystal Valdesian Arsenal group, it's actually
Yeah.
pretty decent. All the toxic people stayed over on Aether. It's kind of nice.
Nice.
That's good. I should do that sometime.
I mean, there's a few still in there, but it seems like most of the cool people ended up on Crystal for Valdesian Arsenal.
It's because all the ERP.
Wow.
The ERP helps keep the salt down.
Alright, let me catch up with chat real quick. Pearl says I'm really upset about the split having to pick between my house versus clearing content. And Papa Yaga says, I have been in 4 FCs since I started playing this game. No insult intended, not complain, but I can tell you as a new player, I'm not feeling much love or motivation to gain endeared to staying with this game. Feeling much... That's true, but that's... Yeah, to a new player, what we're talking about right now, it seems like we're being assholes. But you gotta remember, I've been here since 1.0. Zivos, take a drink, new drinking game, drink every time Super says, let me catch up with chat. Zimbo and Philo have been here since 2.0. Ophi's been here since 3.0. And Kai's been here since...
yeah.
Kai's been here since, what, late 3.0? Or early 3.0?
I've been here since Void Arc.
3.1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so early 3.0.
So...
I miss those.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
I miss the 2.0 days.
What, the actually challenging content days?
Yeah.
Fucking
But
Coil 6.
It's not like we don't like this
9.
game. Most of us love this game, but it's just...
That's why we're here.
It's why we're still here.
It's the management of the game.
So basically what we all have is we all have bitter vet syndrome where we've been playing long enough to see, you know, what the issues are and they're not getting fixed, and we're just cranky old men on the front porch.
Papa Yaga says it's not even that, it's the whole everyone is level 70 and doing level 70 stuff, so until I get to that point I am basically useless for content pushing. And the struggling is real for getting there basically solo.
Well, right now you're at a place where you can get there and you're not missing much because we're still waiting for an expansion. So.
We're waiting for an expansion, so there's not really much to do before, you know, most people are either on break or they're not doing endgame content right now because it's before an expansion. But I do understand that being a new player in this game sucks because all the content is backloaded. It's all in endgame. It's in every endgame. There's level 50 endgame content, 60, and 70. And most people go with whatever's current. Like we do 70 content events in the FC because it's level 70 and most people want to do relevant content. So if you're a new player, you get screwed because you have to get to that point. But you can ask for help. Like most people in the FC are pretty cool and they will help you out sometimes. So don't stress out too much about it.
And my advice I'd like to impart on you is don't rush getting up to max level because the story in this game, well, A Realm Reborn is a little stale in my opinion. Heaven's Ward is fucking amazing, so story-wise, and Stormblood is alright, picks up towards the end. But when you rush into getting into max level, like you skip all the cutscenes, you just bum rush every single level just to get to 70, it's not as rewarding because then when the new stuff comes out, you're not going to have any context of what's happening. You're just going to be like, well, okay, I'll just keep doing this, and it's not as gratifying.
You're also going to burn yourself out really quick.
Yes,
yeah,
very quickly.
You have to just enjoy it at your own pace.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's also, you know, not a race, it's just a video game.
I've seen so many people say that join the FC and say, I want to be raid ready as soon as possible. and then they blast through like ARR and Heaven's Word and get halfway through Stormblood, and they're like, I'm tired of playing this game, and they just don't come back. Because that's all they did. They just blasted through all the content as fast as they could.
Yeah, and it's not fun. I mean, what's the point of playing a game if you're not having fun? What's kind of the point of a fucking video game?
Yep.
To torture yourself.
But Crystal as a whole, I don't know. I feel like once Shadowbringers comes out, it'll be better. But we do have to, as a data center, incentivize players to come to Crystal. Like everyone. I don't care who it is. We need more people, and more people usually means, you know, better players all around. The streamer who convinced me to try this game is exactly at that point. Oh, okay, so he blasted through all the story and is now pushing raids. Pro says, which streamer, if you don't mind me asking? Powler says, I got through MSQ when I was first, got into like 2-3 months, and man, I was burnt out. Lufkin says it's time to rebuild the community, which is really hard right now before an expansion. Yeah, because no one's playing.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Yaga's gonna DM Pearl the streamer. But we're pretty much out of time. We have an event to do in what, 15 minutes?
About, yeah.
So I mean TLDR for the stream. Crystal sucks, it needs to get better. The end. Dark Knight is broken.
Wall.
PF is dead.
Everything's dead.
It's all dying.
I mean, let's look at PF right now before we close the podcast out.
The Weapons Refrain Ultimate, looking for casters up for Uwu. The Unending Coil of Bahamut Ultimate, looking for ranged caster.
I can't
Clear
even
party for 09 L11S.
I can't even see the bottom two locked duties because I don't have them unlocked.
It's one for Uwu and
I will never get over the fact that it's fucking Uwu. That just
Uwu.
looking for Uwu.
Are we talking about
Dear Square Enix? Can you fucking not?
Are we talking about Spoofy Lisbeth? Oh boy, my cavity. No, I'm sorry. Anyway,
is that her? Is that her? Is that the cavity girl?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was. I'm sorry. That was fucking ridiculous. Anyway,
That hurt my ears.
I mean, Papa Yaga. I don't mean to be rude, but because of how big she is, word gets around so fast on this server whenever she does something stupid or like offensive or aggressive. So it goes around so fast. So it's not like it's a secret. But I mean, come on, man. I'm not saying I don't watch her or anything, but come on, dude. Come on.
20 cokes a day, complaining about cavities.
I don't think.
I feel like I'm missing something.
I am too.
That's a story for another time. I'll fill you in when the stream's not on, because I'm very opinionated about that subject, and I don't want to put it on the podcast.
Do it, you pussy.
No, not today. We'll talk about that subject another day. But anyway, I think
next Sunday.
Next Sunday. I have to pick a topic for that day. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We got Map Night coming up, so see you in a few minutes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Papa Yaga says you don't want to badmouth other streamers on Twitch, they get pissy. I agree. See ya.